Alright, so my name is Chandni Mistry, and I'll be talking about refugees around the world. So to start off, the life of a refugee. Imagine being in a constant state of fear. You have no shelter, you have no source of stable food and water, and you're walking around empty-handed, always looking for safety. The issue with refugees and the refugee crises, it's that they need the assistance of all the countries in the world, their people, and their land. But it's yet to be solved because of political, economic, and social stances of each individual country. So one of the first problems with the refugee crises is accepting refugees into other countries. There are 193 countries all around the world, and there's 21 million refugees that are currently documented. And that's according to Sahil Shetty, who's the Secretary of Amnesty International. That's 0.3% of the population. And of those 193 countries of the world, only 10 of them are hosting the majority of these refugees. There are also 30 other countries that have implemented some type of program to help resettle, but then again, 30 as opposed to the whole 193 is not enough. Shetty had also explained that if all the countries have distributed the responsibility of taking in refugees, then there would be no problem of refugees being unstable. Going along with the idea of responsibility, some countries are deciding to fund other programs and things instead of hosting them. So they believe that it's a safer option for their own internal security and stability of their countries. And this is purely their choice to help, whether it's financially or physically. And this way, they can either put forth large efforts, whether it be physical or financial, with the idea of doing the most that they could do. The UN Refugee Agency had actually realized that some countries are putting forth small political gains as opposed to trying to aid the whole humanitarian system because of their own countries' liberty, safety, and security. And then a foreign policy analyst from New York Times did a study, and she realized that there are actually more lower-income countries that are doing more efforts than higher-income countries. One example of that is Turkey. They've been providing food, shelter, and medication to refugees that have been coming into their country, but they've also been providing them with jobs and ways to become citizens, which is crazy because not a lot of countries do that. The European Union is also vouching for country support, and they've been working to fix migration borders, make safer pathways, and more shelter for refugees. Another reason why some countries have or haven't been helping as much with the issue is lack of stability. It's because not all countries are internally stable to have more people come in and have them help them. The Human Rights Watch actually did an article on the Boko Haram incident with Nigerian refugees where the refugees were actually violated, they were abused and deported. And that was just an example of countries that have lack of stability, lack of control within their security itself, the security guards. And with that instability, other countries have fear of losing stability when they do have refugees come in. So with that, it's CNN's Holly Yan did a study, and she realized that 142 countries signed the 1951 Refugee Convention and the 1967 Protocol, but only a few countries put in effort. Other countries have donated to the UN, and that's primarily the Middle Eastern countries, and that's because they're actually more stable and secure, so they're scared that if they had refugees come in, they'd be more of a target for attacks and stuff, and they didn't want their country going down because they opened up their borders. The Bureau of Population, Migration, and Fact Sheet is also a source that we looked at, and on there it showed that the U.S. has actually provided more money than physical support to refugees, and they've donated billions of dollars to Lebanon and millions to Jordan and Turkey, as well as more money to other countries that have also made programs to help refugees. So another thing that I looked at was solutions to how to fix this problem. A lot of countries could do programs. They can make camps of shelters and obviously donate to countries that are doing such. But the main thing is that the countries need to come together and take responsibility for helping its people. And like I said, it's a global issue, not just branches of like each country doing their own little thing. So I think that if they combine their physical land space and financial like stability together, like we could fix the problem of refugees. With future study and research and communication, a better system for humanity and global benefit could result. Thank you. Red button.
Oh.